Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Troy Hardy with the Auckland Rugby League, and we're live streaming today at the home of the Pirates down at Walker Park. Massive clash today as we look at Team 2 on the ladder. Northcote Tigers up against Chevalier Pirates, who have just broken into the top 4. And it'd be fair to say after last week's round of just awesome football that's being put on offer by the ARL, there was a visually gripping, absolutely outstanding white-knuckle ride with the Mount Albert Lions up against the Otahu Leopards. And if the last 3 weeks is anything to go by, we're up for a real treat today to see the Pirates at home hosting the Northcote Tigers. Now, don't go too far away. We're about to catch up with Carl Gribble and see what's going down in Pirate Town, and there's a lot happening here. So back real soon with the interview with the chairman. Cheers.
We look straight ahead.
Yeah, look straight ahead, mate. That's how it works. There's the camera. Say hello to everyone with Carl Gribble, the chairman of the Chevalier Pirates, co-chair. And Carl, first off, really nice day for a major clash down here today. The Pirates up against Northcote. What's going down in Pirate Town? There's lots on, so let's talk about 100 years.
Yeah, no, it's a big year, Troy. And first of all, lovely day at Walker Park, mate. We have lots of these down here.
Yeah.
But no, centenary this year, 100 years of Pirates. And it's going to be a big one in Labour weekend, so we want everyone to get down, have a look on the page, Facebook page. All the information's on there. Be Friday, couple of games. Friday night down the club. Saturday, the big one at Alexandra Park for dinner. And we have got one of the best MCs in Gordon Gibbons running the show.
Yep.
So, and then Sunday is going to be a big day down at Walker Park with kids teams right up, bouncy castles, the lot down here. So real cool family thing, and then back down the club.
So just to sort of recap on that, Friday night I believe is the mix and mingle, and it's only $25, ladies and gentlemen, to get entry to that.
Yep.
The big dinner, $85.
$85.
And you've got a special on, $100 to secure both nights with a wee bit of merchandise tied up.
Yeah, limited tickets, so get in fast.
Awesome. So to get to that, I also think it's on your website as well, the Pirates.
Yeah, if it's not on there yet, it's on the Facebook, and it'll get on there shortly. So we'll
cool. Well, look, congratulations on the first 100, mate, and here's to the next lot.
Thanks, Troy. Appreciate that, mate.
So, mate, with every successful club, especially in the Fox, you've got to have strong volunteers and, good support and obviously sponsors. So, big shout out to your sponsors, Chris. We go to the phone.
Yeah, I got Willard to give this to me, but yeah, definitely our sponsors. I'd just like to mention, first of all, we've got some girls teams this year, so Cherie and Aki have done an awesome job there. Schoolboys, we've got 9 on our schoolboy committee, so that's fantastic. Cool. Got a great senior committee, but yeah, to our sponsors, to Ortex, obviously, done us proud. Here they are here, 09 Customs, O2, our physios, Dale ITM been fantastic, Titan, Dynasty, Mondial is a new one come on board, Mondial.
Awesome, yep.
Passive, Hello World, and Super City Towing, so thank you to them.
Well, look, on behalf of the club, thank you for the support for the Pirates, to all the sponsors out there. And one of the ways that we try and thank the sponsors and obviously give some love back is I suppose being the senior person in the Chevalier Rugby League Club, the importance or the success of the live stream. So what's your view on that, mate?
Oh, the live stream's been fantastic, mate, because even if you're not in front of a TV, you can get on your phone and watch it, so I think it's been fantastic. People all over the world are looking at it, and it's easy to get to. So you guys have done a fantastic job there, Troy, and long may it continue. Awesome.
And other activities happening around the club. So I know it's the 100th centennial year. You've touched on, you've got a few ladies teams playing down here and what have you. What other activities are the Pirates up to?
We've had our Old Boys Day, so we're trying to get that back and get more old boys behind the club down there. But no, it's just mainly working towards the Labour weekend. That is the big one, and there's a lot of planning going on there.
Yeah.
But just the kids playing and getting these teams, supporting our prems and reserves, and they're going well. So.
Mate, one of the things just popped in my head too, you can get cash tickets through Dave Tompkins at the club, is that right, for
Yep.
the Centennial dinner?
Yep.
And there's one other contact down there as well, isn't there?
You can see Kelly down there, but
Okay.
Lucy, if you go down there, see Lucy, she'll be down there. Grab it early, don't be disappointed.
Cool as.
Good night.
Make sure you turn up to that one. That's 100 years in the making. Now, finally, mate, because I know I've nabbed you. You were down here first thing this morning putting the fields out, and then I dragged you off the sideline being touchy, is the tracking of the Pirates for the 2019 season. Got off to a wee bit of a shaky start. What's the vibe like in the club now?
Oh, it's fantastic, Troy. Yeah, we were a little bit slow to start with, but maybe their fitness wasn't quite up there. But, to be fair to Ben Freeze, he's done an awesome job getting their fitness up, and they're travelling real good at the moment. We had a good win last week. Really, last 5 or 6 weeks, they've gone real well. We're hoping for another big one today, and just work towards trying to get a place in the semi-finals.
Awesome. And the today's tip, mate, where's your money lie?
Oh, definitely with the Pirates, mate. We got to get these 2 points to try and get closer up the ladder. Pirates for me.
Cool. All right, ladies and gentlemen, look, thanks very much for hosting us today down here for the Auckland Rugby League. Nice to be back in the Pirates waters. Now we're going to be able to throw over to Corey Ross, who's going to be interviewing the head coaches for the two teams today, the Northcote Tigers and the Point Chevalier Pirates. Cheers, Carl, for looking after us, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Don't go too far away, ladies and gentlemen. Back real soon. Anyone first, bro? Okay, Jeff, jump in, mate. All good? Give us your Okay, cool. Mic's on. All good.
Okay, now joined by Jeff Morton, head coach of the Northcote Tigers. Well, Jeff, a bit of a heart-stopper last week up against Mangere East. I think you were behind by quite a bit at one stage there. Talk us through it and how you got home in the end.
Yeah, first half was ordinary,
Right.
and that's probably been generous to the boys. Second, mate, they just when we stick to what we're meant to be doing, we've shown what we can. We're capable of winning football games. We just, I said, the last 3 or 4 weeks we've just been a little bit off, and it showed in what we've been doing. So we're working hard to get it back to where it needs to be, but it's a little bit of a work in progress. Injuries hasn't helped.
Yep.
But let's see how we go today.
Obviously, such a good start to the season. I mean, how close are you to getting back to sort of what you were doing for those first 6 or 8 rounds?
We're not far off. As I said, the biggest issue I think at the minute is just being consistent.
Yep.
We're showing, as I said, we showed for 40 minutes last week that we can, run teams down. We shouldn't be in those positions. We're letting ourselves get into spots where we're having to come from behind. For the first 6, 7, 8 weeks we weren't doing that. The last 3 or 4 we have. So we're just trying to fix that today. So see how we go.
Eddie Finota out today, I believe, picked up a bit of a head knock last week. I mean, what do you lose without Eddie, aside from the leadership?
Mate, he's the inspiration. He's the one that when we needed a big hit, he jumped out of the line and did one,
Right.
and sort of come off second best. But he's that sort of bloke. He's him and I have had words about it, how keeping the line and trying to make sure he does things. Mate, he just tries to inspire the boys.
Yeah.
And, jumps and does things and gets occasionally gets his head in the wrong spot, and he's out for a couple of weeks. So he's all good at the minute. It's just one of those things. Just it's a protocol that's in place. So
Yep.
you abide by it.
Now, we've just spoken about, I guess, the slow starts, which maybe have become a little bit of a theme. You're not going to be able to afford to do that against the Pirates today. Is that the main message to you guys, that the start needs to be on point today?
Yeah, it has been. They know. They're aware of it.
Yeah.
Being aware of it and executing it can be two different things. And it's football. That's just the nature of the beast, unfortunately. We'll see. They said they've worked hard this week. We've just had a bit of a chat about it before they've gone out for their warm up. It's one of those things I can't jump on the field and do it for them. So we'll see how they go. They're looking all right. Their mindset's good. they realise we're down. We're still down a few troops from where we were, 6-7 weeks ago. But they're all due to come back over the next 2 or 3 weeks. So, it's just getting through this next little period and then working hard.
You obviously got some fairly recent experience against the Pirates. I mean, does that help you today and I guess give you an idea of what to expect, or are you expecting it'll be different again?
Oh, mate, they're a very experienced football team. Right across the pitch, they got some very good coaches. They do their homework very well.
Yeah.
They would have picked the bones out of what we do and work to try and nullify it, which is what they did last time. We're expecting very similar. So, we're just going to have to react a little bit better than we did last time.
All right, Jeff, well, we're going to let you get back and finish warming up the team. I know you rushed over here to join us, so we thank you very much for that, and all the best today.
All right, thanks very much.
Cheers. Okay, and with us now, Cody Walker from the Chevalier Pirates. Well, Cody on a nice little run right now, I think 6 in a row. What's kind of changed over the last 2 months that maybe wasn't there at the start of the year?
Probably getting a little bit fitter, probably getting a bit more game time under our belt, and just understanding what we want to do, what we want the players to do as coaches.
Last week's performance, a big win over Glenora. What did you like about it?
From my understanding, I missed the game, but from my understanding, we just played tough. We completed sets and we kind of won that middle battle.
The forward pack is, I guess, an area that has improved throughout the year. You've added a bit of size there. I mean, is that sort of your major strength in a team with plenty of stars right now?
Yeah, I mean, it helps. I mean, you got to be in the line, you got to go forward to play off the back of momentum. And when you got big bodies like that, like we do at the moment, it's a luxury to kind of play off the back of that.
Now, he's doing his best to hide out the back. He's got the hoodie zipped up, but Patrick Sipley returns today. Talk us through what Patrick will bring to this team and maybe a little bit about where he's coming back from as well.
Yeah, well, he's probably going to bring the experience of tough games like this. He will. I mean, he's played a lot of high football.
Yep.
And I think he came back from Wynnum.
Yep.
From Wynnum, Wynnum. So he's. I mean, he's been around the traps, and we all know what Paddy's all about, and he just brings a bit of stature too.
Adam McCarthy back in the top side again. A nice guy to be able to bring back in, I guess, and add a bit more leadership to the squad.
Yeah, he does. He holds a bit of money in the group.
Yep.
And with guys like Arden, you can feed off him. He's a team player, and he wants to do what's best for the team. And to bring him back into the squad, it's nice.
Just looking at your reserve grade squad, obviously some big names in there. You must be really proud of the guys in the top squad who are playing well enough to keep these guys out. I guess a guy like Sam Fa'apito springs to mind, keeping Sola Solomona out. I mean, you must be very proud as a coach to see that.
Yeah, it's really nice to see that players are getting opportunities and holding on to their jerseys. As you said, we've got a lot of talent in reserve grade, and for those boys to get an opportunity and hold their jerseys, it's pays credit to themselves to stick it out and put their hands up for that jersey.
Played Northcote recently. What did you, I guess, learn from that, and what are you expecting from the Tigers today?
Looking at their last probably 3 games, they're an 80-minute team, and from what I've heard, they've had to kind of play a bit harder in the back end of their games, and they've tipped 3 teams in the last 3 weeks. So we've got to be up for that. They're going to be very tough for 80 minutes. So we can't give them too much time, and if we can kind of lay a platform at the start of the game, that doesn't mean we're going to win the game at the back end of the game. They're going to come through quite strong.
Absolutely, and they are a team that, as you mentioned, plays up until the 80th and won it late against Mangere East last week as well. All right, Cody, we're going to let you go and finish warming the boys up. Thank you very much for joining us, and
Thanks,
all the
mate.
best today.
Cheers.
Well, and we're going to throw it to the field. Apologies.
Sorry, mate. There's no one else to ring.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to today's SAS Fox Memorial Premiership clash between the Ortex Point Chevalier Pirates and the Northcote Tigers. We're live from Walker Park. You can see on screen the Point Chevalier reserves making their way off the field. A big victory for them over Northcote in the reserve grade match here. This Point Chevalier team, plenty of firepower in it and some big names from the Fox, including the likes of Koma Sampson, Sola Solomona, Sione Tongia having a run as well. Harley Maynard out there, I should say, represented Auckland earlier this year and an integral part of that Warriors junior system. So certainly a handy side to have running out there. So as they make their way from the field, we'll be joined in commentary soon by Troy Hardy. In the meantime, we'll run you through some results from last weekend, and we'll start with the Crown Lift Trucks Fox Championship. And it was the Barrel Vikings who had a 38-28 victory over the Hibiscus Coast Raiders in the end. The Raiders certainly more than held their own in that contest, and it was really only the speed and intensity of the game which overcame Hibiscus Coast in the end. So the Bay winning that one 38-28. Papakura getting up 36-28 over the Ellerslie Eagles. That was a big game there against two teams seated next to each other. Richmond just scraped home against Pukekohe 32-30. Isaac Arkoy-Atmore playing a starring role in that one along with Dayton Tonivasa. And then the Te Aratu Roosters, well, just really continuing on from where they finished the qualifiers. They win 36-16 over Manurewa in their clash and start their campaign on fire. And in games today in that competition, Bayrosk will play Manurewa. That's two first division teams from the qualifiers. Te Aratu take on Ellerslie. That's first and second from the championship qualifiers. Papakura play Richmond, and Hibiscus Coast take on Pukekohe. Now, if we bring up the ladder and take a look at how things look in the championship, and at the top after that big one it is Te Aratu, Bayroskul nestled in just behind, and then Papakura and Richmond, and the chasing pack early on Pukekohe, Ellerslie and Hibiscus Coast. Manurewa sitting down the bottom right now. Well, doesn't mean much, there's only been one game played, but a little bit of work to do for those teams, and I guess particularly for Manurewa given they've played a second division qualifying team already. Alright, now going to welcome into commentary Troy Hardy, who is back from a little jog over to the other side to drop the game ball off. And Troy, certainly a fairly chilly breeze around today, but the weather holding out, the field's in great nick.
Yeah, the weather's looking pretty good. Shaping up, I suppose, as far as at least it's not raining, so that's a good result. Wind's got up a little bit. Park's in pretty good nick, even though if we have a look on TV, there looks like there's a couple of sandy patches out there. It's actually held up pretty well, so it's a firm track out there today, and I think looking forward to a good display of football from both teams.
Moving our attention to first division results from last weekend, and Northcote got home eventually 46-38 over Mangere East, and they were down by quite a bit at half-time, Northcote, but managed to storm home. And Troy, we've obviously called them a couple of times in the last couple of weeks, becoming somewhat of a trend for them. Well,
3 weeks ago we watched the Northcote Tigers have the big clash of the cats against the Otahu Leopards, and they gave them a 20-point head start, and at half-time I think Jeff had a quiet word in their ear, if we're allowed to say that. So that fired them up, and the Northcote boys came back, and I think it would be fair to say that we thought that was the best game of the season that we'd live streamed until the week following, which was then Point Chevalier Mangere East, and until the week following, which became Mount Albert playing Otahu, which I think that's probably going to get superseded today, maybe.
The Howick Hornets 30-10 winners over the Marist Saints, and the Hornets hold on to the Root Rooster with that victory as well. Point Chevalier did it big against Glenora, 40 points to 18, and that really avenges that round one loss where Glenora took care of them in fairly tidy fashion. But of course, Point Chevalier still laughing at the end. They're the ones with the Fox. And to the final game of the round, which was our live stream game, and what a match this was, Troy. Otahu up against Mount Albert. Really looked like the Leopards had it won. Mount Albert then score. Looks like they've won, and drama until the last play.
Yeah, if you haven't seen a Fox footy match this year, please, I implore you to get onto the ARL TV YouTube channel and watch last week's match. It was played on a fantastic surface. That's the new green grass down there at Fells Park. It was a fast-paced game. It was big hitting. It was a lot of emotion in it, even by the commentators. It's just a fantastic game of football.
Now, a couple of big clashes on offering today, and if you are around, try and get out to a game today at Burt Henham Park, Otahu versus Howick. Now, this has been a nice little rivalry that's simmered over the years, and I expect that it'll be a really two good teams going head-to-head today, probably two of the form teams in the competition as well. Mount Albert versus Glenora, another of these traditional rivalries that'll be played at Felds Park. And Mangere East up against the Marist Saints. It's the two bottom teams in the competition, and you would think the loser of that one can probably kiss goodbye to their top four hopes. So that's a big clash as well.
Yeah, I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that.
I'll say it for you. There you go.
Thanks very much. Yeah, I think Mangere East still have the power to surprise, and Marist on their day, they're pretty formidable. So I think, at the business end of the competition, these top 8 teams is what we've all been waiting for, and the rounds of football, even, we've only projected out for our next live stream match to go to the home of the Hornets to see them clash against Glenora Bears. I had to think about that one for a minute. And then we're going to hand-pick the weeks that follow. So, it'll be interesting to see where teams end up on the ladder today.
Okay, we'll bring up the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership ladder now, remembering these teams kept their points from the qualifiers. So if we start at the bottom, that's why I said it's fairly well a must-win, because those two teams are already 6 points back from the top 4, and at the conclusion of this round, there'll only be 5 games to play. It would be a big ask there, and potentially within the next couple of weeks be mathematically impossible. So a big game for the two teams at the bottom. If we go to the top, well, the Howick Hornets dropped a game early in the year, have been flawless since. They've got the Root Rooster as well, and the Northcote Tigers nestled in just behind right now. It's a big game for them because Mount Albert and Point Chevalier are starting to breathe down their neck now. Speaking of Point Chevalier, into the top 4 for the first time this year. Troy, they jumped Glenora there, and all of a sudden we've got really a quality 6-way race for that top 4 as it stands. Yeah,
and it's going to be so important today. Point Chevalier are hungry to get 2 points. Northcote are wanting to stay in that number 2 spot. And, with the number of rounds that you sort of alluded to, every win's a must win for these teams now, especially if they're wanting to, get into the first and second place as we get down to the semi-finals.
So not far from kickoff now, and in just a moment we will run you through the team list and how they will take the field. He's our referee on ground, and we've got one of the best in the business once again, Anthony Elliott in the middle. He'll be assisted by Matt Granis and Corey Jewell as his touchies.
Anthony! Hey!
Okay, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, live from Walker Park for today's SAS Fox Memorial Premiership clash between the Point Chevalier Pirates and Northcote Tigers. We're going to bring the team lists up now and run you through how they will take the field today, and starting with the home side, the Ortex Point Chevalier Pirates, and at the back it will be Hawaii Annandale. Watch for Sam Fa'apito on the wing. He scored 5 tries on Fox debut just a couple of weeks ago, and I understand he got a couple last week as well. Solomona and Ledger form a deadly centre combination. Makawi will captain the side from the halves, along with Api Pawhairangi, one of the outstanding players in the Fox over the last couple of weeks since dropping back down from Canterbury Cup level with the Warriors. Paeleki and Passini in the front row. Gavitt, McCarthy and Tuitama are the back row, and then it's a dangerous bench. Latu, Seal, Kapawa and Patrick Sipley back. His first game back in Auckland after returning from the Queensland Cup competition where he's playing with Wynnum. He will add plenty to this forward pack. Now for the Northcote Tigers, at the back it is Machu Stone Dunn, the talented fullback. James Waterson, the deadly man, out there on the wing. He'll have a youngster with him, and Corey Haku on the other side. Waka and Tuli are the centres, Tiaho and Timoti Cook in the halves, and Timoti Cook will wear the 18 with the number 7 jersey, retired in honour of Zay Wallace. Up in the front row, Tafotu will lead the charge along with David Barner, and then Tuigamala and Stewart in the back row. And a familiar name on the bench, Kevin Locke, returns to the side. He will wear the 14 jersey and I assume come on and play either in the halves or at dummy half there. Handy guy to have around. And Thomas Barner on the bench as well, so a fairly lightweight bench for Coach Jeff Moulton. All right, they're out onto the field now. Cole Waka, you can see on screen, having a chat to Anthony Elliott. And looks like Cole is going to captain the side today in the absence of Eddie Finota, the front rower who has been in really, really good form this year. Picked up a concussion and will miss at least this week due to that. So a big loss for this Northcote middle, particularly coming up against a formidable forward pack, as we see in the shape of the Point Chevalier Pirates.
Well, looking forward to this one, Corey, and it's the first one for the day as the Pirates get ready to set sail. Good crowd down here today too.
So Point Chevalier will kick off and kick to the non-playground end down here at Walker Park. Looks like it's going to be Francis Ledger to get us underway. So here we go. Round 2 of the competition proper in the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership. Northcote versus Point Chevalier. David Barner will have the first carry. Takes it straight back in towards Adam McCarthy. Timothy Cook now hands off to Kenny Stewart, who we've seen used mainly in the centres in the top flight at least. He comes one in to play in the back row today, helping to fill that void really created by the Finota injury. Tafotu moves from the back row into the front row, and Kenny Stewart joins the forward pack. And we mentioned before, this Northcote team, while they were red hot for the first month and a half of the competition, then probably hit a couple of troubles, bounced back somewhat over the last couple of weeks, but still a feeling that they're yet to really rediscover that form that they had for the first couple of weeks. Timothy Cook now kicks over the top, and it's nicely weighted, bounces just inside, and we'll go over the sideline away from Hawaii, Annandale, and Northcote with a good set. Point Chevalier will start this set from about 10 metres off their line. So scrum to pack down now. Point Chevalier shooting for 7 straight victories with a win today. They sit in 4th position, jumped into the top 4 for the first time last week after beating Glenora. Tuitama now works forward, taken down under the weight of Afu. And in there as well, David Barner, who's mixed his time between both front row and centre so far this year, or hooker I should say. We saw him play back row and front row at NRL level with both the Warriors and Knights as well. Tiaho and Barner involved that time. Kenny Gavitt was the ball carrier. A flat ball at the line and it hits Sipley. Pawhairangi has to think on his feet. They're going to have to move the ball here, Point Chevalier. Northcote rush them and will trap them. So not the opening set Point Chevalier would have been looking for. May have been a little breakdown there, although Pawhairangi was shaping to kick and then just got rushed by Northcote, who will now take over possession just inside their own half.
Yeah, interesting to know. I think Eddie's going to be a big miss today for the Tigers, and it'll be interesting to see what Tuigamala does. Whether, normally he's running on the edges and he may have to get into the engine room today, as we see one of the bookends carrying it up. They've given away a bit of size to the Pirates pack.
Speaking of that man, Tuigamala hits the line and is taken down 30 out. Waka, the dummy half, jumps out, steals a couple, sizes up and then squeezes through, just manages to hold on to the ball as well. They're 20 from the line now, the Northcote Tigers. Afu to Timoti Cook. Timoti Cook holding it and just about goes through. He's so dangerous when he runs the ball. We've seen him score some lovely tries this year. Kick now is claimed by Point Chevalier. Machu Stone Dunn it was who got away the kick, and now the Pirates will work it off their line. But look at Northcote getting there in numbers, driving them back, and again it's David Barnett, who had just added so much to this team. Returned last year and set up the first few rounds with that knee injury, but back in there now, the leadership he brings, but also just the little technical things as we see the ball put down now. And again, Northcote with another quality attacking opportunity. This one the best of the game. Here's James Waterson, the top try scorer in the Fox last year. Gets dumped onto his back but finds an offload. Through the middle they come, Tafutu. Tiaho stepping, not getting through that time. Tuitama comes in to finish the job off. They're 10 out from the line now. 4.5 minutes gone. Northcote hunting first points. Tuigamala to Stone Dunn. Shaking his way through, but is set upon by Tofahima. Afu goes way out the back. Tiaho to Timoti Cook. Moving left now, Northcote. Well read though by Point Chevalier. Last play now. Timoti Cook appears out of the play, although they're going to go that way left. Timoti Cook will kick in behind. It's loose. It gets left. And the Tigers open the scoring. And I believe it's Kenny Stewart. We'll need to check that one on the replay. But it just looked like everyone sort of took their eyes off that one for a minute there. Initially, it looked like Timoti Cook's the dummy half. He's calling Barner out. And then out of nowhere, the little kick. And they're over.
And as we watch the SAS Sporting replay here, we can just see the cup kick back inside. Kept everybody on the hoop, on the hoop. Try time though. One thing that really struck me though in the first, we got on the clock there, the first 4 minutes has been the defensive line speed for the Tigers. They've been rushing the point players, getting right up inside their face, trying to trap them down before they start getting the big boys getting a roll on. They've turned a couple of those probably defensive hits into an opportunity where they've got the ball back, and you can see that's paid dividends for them. First to open with points on the board as we wait for the kick to come.
Yeah, and you're right, that whole series started obviously with Northcote rushing them on last tackle. They get the ball sort of 45 off their own line and then build off that.
He didn't give himself enough time on the dressing the ball there.
So the kick is away. It remains Northcote Tigers 4, Point Chevalier Pirates 0, but Jeff Morton will be happy with what he's seen at first in this match. Starts have been a real issue for this team over the last few weeks, but a positive one so far as Point Chevalier make their way back to get us back underway. 6.5 minutes gone.
Big and deep, looking for somebody off the back gate. No, they're going to spread it.
Did that off the kickoff as well. See a bit of a predetermined game plan there, looking to spread the Point Chevalier team and then work back through the middle. Timoti Cook calling the shots out the back as Kenny Stewart fights for a quick play of the ball. It goes to Barner, who had his other prop forward looming in support. Afu to Timoti Cook. Finds Tully. Tafotu now works it forward. Good strong showing from the Northcote pack thus far. Tiaho, under all sorts of pressure, contact was fine, and it is now fielded by Annandale, who will bring this straight back. In fact, that may be... It is Annandale. Ledge of the dummy half, comes back through the middle. Were they all back the 10? Referee Elliott says yes. Kenny Stewart comes in to slow the play down. Fa'apito takes them up over the 30 as they approach halfway. The outside back's doing plenty of the work early in this set for the Pirates. Here's Passini.
Really impressed with the Tigers' line speed. They're moving on a great rate of speed.
Paeleki does some damage that time. Bahana holding on down low. Afu up top. They got through some work already defensively, those two. Afu now looking to pressure Pawhairangi. It goes high. It's behind Waterson. And this is going to hold up. They're going to have to play it this here. Stone Dunn does well to get out of trouble. Ball's loose.
Both ways. Nice.
Strip the call.
Penalty.
Tuigamala lines up for the first one. Will change the direction at the line, but Tui Thomas says you're going nowhere.
Ooh. No, they played it on.
It was a near thing. Slow play of the ball. Tiaho looking for a gap. Gavitt gets hold of him. Wrestles him down just short of the 40. And now it's the Pirates leading the charge with their line speed, although Tafotu shakes out of the first one that time and picks off a few extra metres. Into the back end of this set now. Afu will kick from dummy half. Kick is ruled outside. And goes out, but that is not a 40-20 as you will be hearing on the field there. The call was clearly outside, but a fair kick anyway, Troy. And the Northcote Tigers, a couple of classy sets and finishing with good kicks.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, for the first 10 minutes, the majority of that time, they've really been down inside the Point Chevalier Pirates 20, maybe 30. But really impressed with their line speed on the defence. They're certainly rushing the Pirates and they're trying to get up to stop the big boys getting a roll on. And be fair to say, the Pirates pack got a couple of big humans there. Looks like Arden McDonald into the hooking role.
And my apologies, I think I called Pat Sipley before. Don't think he's on the park yet.
McCarthy,
Sure,
I apologise too. We're both getting names messed up here. So give me a clip later. So we missed that. A little bit of chat.
Wasn't too much in that one. Tiaho penalised for staying in the tackle too long. Not too sure what the exception was. So Pawhairangi.
It's heading over the CTAS camera unit. So again, let's interesting to see the line speed for the Northcote Tigers where they keep rushing. Waiting for the ball to return. Big chat, big chat.
Makawi. Tuitama. Going to get the big boys rolling now. Passini. Met well by Tuigamala though. Pawhairangi links back up with Gavitt. Their left edge is deadly. Point Chevalier. It's where Gavitt, Pawhairangi and Fa'apito sit. So many of their points come from down that end. Tuitama centralises. They're 10 out from the line. Taufahima jumps out. Links with Paeleki. Back door, and it's just about picked off by a Moa Tuli. Handover is the call. There was a Point Chevalier knock on in the lead up. Afu to Timothy Cook, links back up with Kenny Stewart, the try scorer from earlier. 13 minutes gone. It's the Tigers on a narrow lead, but a very closely contested game so far in the middle of the park. Pafainangi, good first up contact that time on Tuigamala, although he does need some help to get into ground. Trapped inside their own 40 here, the Tigers. Tiaho jumps out of 1, jumps out of 2, Tiaho. Not going to do so against Gavitt, who puts him to ground 40 out. Last play now coming up. Timothy Cook kicks high down towards the wing. Now this is from inside this time. Is it going to hold up? No, it's a brilliant kick and he slips in goal. And they will trap him. Wow, what a result there. Timothy Cook. It had snow on it by the time it came down. And they just couldn't deal with it out there. It was Meri Faitotoa who ended up in a horrible situation, really. Ends up slipping in goal and they trap him.
Yeah, not much to add to that, Corey. Defensively, Tigers are on fire. They're just turning their defence into attack. They've done really, really well so far. Excuse me. And we see the Point back inside their in-goal area now, drop kicking out, and gives another opportunity to the Tigers to have an attack.
Barner winds up. Look out. Straight back at them. Point get a couple of big bodies there to halt his momentum. Afu jumps out. Straight through a gap.
Split them.
They're coming across in cover. Gets there in time to Annandale.
Want to quick play the ball here?
Tiaho says we're going to the right. To Igamala. To Waka. Waka. Still going, Cole Waka. He's taken down 2 out from the line. Afu the dummy half. Centrefield will come. This is Tiaho. He will have to straighten. It's broken down a little bit here for Northcote. They're 5 out from the line. Hunting their second try. Afu jumps out. Looping pass over the right. Waka holds it up to Igamala. Good scramble from Point Chevalier. Waka says we'll go back centre field. It's messy. Machu Stone Dunn is on it. Dinks a kick over the top, down towards the wing. And Tully goes up, but there's a whistle in the background. Inside the 10 is the call. Wouldn't have been a try anyway. But enterprising stuff from the Northcote Tigers. Thought Point Chevalier did really well to recover there, Troy, after looking on the ropes initially.
Yeah, and they created a real good opportunity out there on the right and probably just got out of rhythm there. And I think you said during the passage of play, just got a little bit messy. That pass didn't really go to anybody. And, an opportunity may be squandered. Sorry about that. I'd like to eat my chocolate bar, Corey, but I think you'd stitch me up.
No, not at all. I wasn't even going to tell the audience here eating a chocolate bar in the middle of the call. But anyway, it's out there now. Point Chevalier back into it. That shot appeared to creep a little high.
Peeling.
Makawi. Paeleki. Former Manly under-20s player. Taufahima to Tuitama. Makawi links back to the middle. And he's back. Pat Sipley. His first carry of the year for the Pirates. Been away with Wynnum in the Queensland Cup competition. We touched on it earlier, such a quality player to bring back. Of course, spent a long time at the Warriors as Ledger. Dinks a little kick in behind. Stone Dunn is aware and quickly onto it. And then he will be taken down about 5 off his own line. It's a bit of a game of chess starting to develop here. Real arm wrestle as Waterson comes in looking for a little bit of work. Chews off some good meters as well and keeps driving with Gavitt wrapped around his legs. Tuigamala Talfahima getting through plenty in defence as well. Ledger joining in to help that time. Tiaho, Tamoti Cook. Then they straight in via Stewart. Been a real revelation for them this year, Kenny Stewart. Mentioned before, playing a couple of different positions. Tully now comes back in field, but it's McCowie and McCarthy on hand to contain him. Bad play of the ball. Knock on the call. So scrum, Point Chevalier feed. And this is possibly the Pirates' best attacking opportunity of the game so far. Did really well to trap Northcote that time, and then a sloppy play of the ball at the end results in the handover. So set all but two to the left. Ledger to Solomona, the two centres working together, and Solomona gets to a quick play of the ball as well. Starting to roll now. Gavitt. Tiaho tries to spin him onto his back, not successful. Kitiona Passini, former Mount Albert Lions man. Talfahima, McCowie, look out, Annandale on the shoulder, hits Sipley short. 5 out, Annandale. Driving the legs, but there's plenty of Tigers on him. Last play now coming up. 19 gone. The Tigers lead by 4. McCowie. Talfahima kicks in behind. Stone Dunn is aware, and he's going to have to go the long way to get out. Does so, then hands off to Waka. And by the end of it, they're 15 metres out. A nice return that time from the Northcote Tigers, who looked good on their line, nice and comfortable. Stone Dunn jumps out and steals a few extra metres. Good to see Machu back on the field. He's battled hamstring injuries this year. Transferred across from Richmond last season. Real classy presence at fullback. Toigamala puts the goose step on. Wants a quick play of the ball as well. Tiaho comes centre field and links with his 13, Stephen Tapau.
Good little bump and run too. He got a few extra metres.
Last play now coming up. Does Tamoti Cook look to the skies again? This time it's going to be Tiaho. It's charged down. Back to 1. Well, what a funny old play that was. Charged down straight back into the hands of Tiaho. Northcote not complaining. 6 more to play with. Tui Tupo. His first touch. Fresh legs on the park for the Tigers in the pack. Afu to Bana. Straight and hard. Tuitama holding on up top. Afu jumps out, steals a few metres. In good position here, the Tigers. Bana, the makeshift dummy half. Tamoti Cook. Tiaho straightens. 10 out from the line. He's running the ball a lot today as Tiaho. Afu jumps out, catches the napping. Josiah Afu, he's been on a couple of those today. This time, finds the end result, gets over the line, and the Northcote Tigers double the lead. Kick to come.
The SAS Sporting replay. Looking for a quick play of the ball here as he is fighting in the tackle. And he read this early. Good, fast, quick skip. Out and managed to just split those defenders and stole that 4 points. That takes the Tigers to 8 as we wait for the kick to come. Have to say it's been pretty impressive. 20 minutes for the Tigers so far, Corey.
It has indeed. And interesting to see what impact their bench can offer now as well. Kevin Locke straight on to attempt this conversion. Of course, a former Point Chevalier Pirate himself, Kevin Locke. A couple of years back with Northcote, his junior club now, as he prepares to convert this one from in front. Flags are up and the Tigers lead by 10.
again, I have to say, it's impressed me as the Tigers defence. They've certainly, been getting off that line quick, smart. And, head coach Jeff Morton's had a wee bit of a wholesale change in moving a few of the bodies around the park, and they seem to be doing the job for him so far.
So back to it. 23 gone. It's the Tigers who lead by 10. Here's Tui Tupo. A few new names in this Northcote team that we probably haven't heard a lot of. I think picked up a couple from rugby union with that season wrapping up as well. Waka jumps out. Cole Waka again catches them napping. They're having some success around dummy half right now. Barner looked out the back and then went straight. Tamoti Cook, dummies. Tofahima sits upon him along with Makawi. His opposite number. Tiaho, in fact it's Locke, who goes high. Stone Dunn bearing down and Annandale drops it.
Drop cold.
Referee Elliott just letting Jordan Tiaho know that Annandale didn't need that after he gave him a little rub on the head following the drop. Probably a fair call.
Point Chevalier just haven't got into it yet, They don't seem to have had their rhythm. The local chopper flying over in the background.
We see this quite often where, one team comes into a game really pumped up, sets a certain sort of pace, I guess, and it can take the other team a little while to get into it. I fully expect Point Chevalier will. It's too good a team not to. But it's just a matter of how big will the lead be.
Waiting for the Green Giant to wake up. But again, Northcote, they've just been outstanding on the defence. They've just been so quick around the park.
So set play set up to the right. Tiaho will be the first receiver, and then we'll go short to Toigamala, who just for a minute looked in a little half gap there. And we've got an injury here, so time off. Not sure who it was who has gone down.
Point player. Leg cramp by the looks of it.
So it's Sam Fa'apito who's gone down. Looks like he's going to shake it off and remain on the field. And they'd be wise to attack the right edge very quickly, I would think, Northcote. Fa'apito doesn't look in great shape at all. Tuitupo will straighten. Barner just about went through the line. And someone wore an arm or an elbow. Afu. This is the way they're going to go. Tiaho. Locke. Locke looking to step his way through. Chris Seal sets upon him and he gets an offload away though. Waka. Cole Waka to Watterson. Watterson in the far right corner. Cole Waka with the nice little offload, and Northcote in again.
There's the smiling commentator hands it over on the SAS Sporting Replay here. Locke did well to keep it alive here. He actually looked like he was going to get tied up, and he just managed to offload the one-hander. And not a bad player to find. Stepped again, and then just a little flick pass out. And Watterson, great little pathfinder. He knows how to score tries. We've seen him do it time and time again. 4 points over on the right-hand edge.
Nice little offload from Waka, wasn't it, at the end there? And you're right, Kevin Locke did really well to get the ball away. So another try for the Pirates, a chance to lead by 16 with 27 minutes gone here.
Well, maybe Jeff's had the halftime chat at the beginning of time and told the boys, in the lead-up, I think he sort of alluded to that, was, the time is near. Well, it's near, right? It's 14 points out with the kick to come. And I dare say he'll be a happy head coach at this point. As we wait for the kick to come, we're College Rugby League live streaming as well. Ladies and gentlemen, you can get to those games through aucklandleague.co.nz. And that'll happen after the holidays, as Corey's looking at me wondering what is Troy talking about. And it's good to have holidays too.
Just wondering if you're going to preview the game on Wednesday. Yep, 2-week break from that. That's shaping up as a really good competition as well.
Absolutely,
Southern Cross and St. Paul's looking like the two to beat right now. The top two qualifiers will go directly to the grand final in that one, as Locke attempts the conversion from up against the sideline. It is away, and the score remains the Northcote Tigers, supported by NRL, Northcote Reinforcing Limited, or North City, I believe it is. And they lead the Ortex Point Chevalier Pirates 14 points to 0, 28 gone. Driven low kick to get us back underway, which will set up to Tiaho and Tuitupo again. Tuigamala down the right corridor. Gets hit hard, gets an offload away though, and Stone Dunn, like all good fullbacks. He's there backing up. Look at this. Already 45 off their own line. Kevin Locke now. They'll go right side again. Waka sizing up his options. Wisely heads back infield and takes the tackle. Locke clears dummy half, finds Tiaho to Barner. Barner goes straight, twists in the tackle, and then gets taken down there. 42 out from the line now. Afu at dummy half. He'll jump out, and again, look at the meters on offering, and that wasn't even a quick play of the ball that time. They're killing them at dummy half right now, Northcote. Tuigamala. Tiaho kicks in behind, takes the deflection, and bounces up kindly into the end. And the Pirates now bring the ball back via Sam Fa'apito.
Just working for each other in the defence, eh? They're looking so strong in that part of the game.
Tavita Latu on the field for the first time today. He will jump in to assume the dummy half roles from Tofahima. And Salinga Kapawa on as well. So some of the big guns being rolled out now by Point Chevalier. Looking to wrest some momentum back their way. Makawi dummies his way through the first line. Now I think there's a Pirates knock-on in there. No advantage, and this will be a Northcote ball.
Yeah. I was just about to say, I think Tavita Latu will certainly change the tempo around the ruck for the Pirates. And just come a little bit unstuck out there on the edge. Another opportunity for the Tigers. And momentum seems to be their way at the moment. They've spent a wee bit of time down here in the Point Chevalier area. Waiting for the scrum to pack in.
Machu Stone Dunn gets it off the second pass. He's starting to cause some troubles out the back. Looking lively at dummy half.
Sorry, mate. Still down on the back plate. So they're a man down.
And now we'll have time off. Head knock and back play. The Tigers are showing some concern. And two changes as we do that. Looks like Kenny Stewart off for a rest. Thomas Barner onto the park as well. So interesting. Point Chevalier bringing size on Northcote bring another small man on. Perhaps again looking to find some luck at the bottom of the ruck there, which Josiah Afu has done with some real success so far. Looks like he's the other player that's gone off for a break. So Barnett to fill the dummy half, passes straight to his brother. .25 out from the line. Tiaho hits Tuigamala on the short. Latu in late to slow things down. Barner at dummy half, surveying his options. Again, we'll find big brother David, who then goes backdoor again. It's Locke to Moti Cook, moving left quickly now the Tigers. A short ball at the death. It's Robert Tapau who gets taken to ground. Last play coming up now. Kevin Locke, the dummy half. He's got both playmakers in sight. They'll move it. Tuigamala to Waka. Look out. It's brewing again. Waka taking the ground, 5 out from the line. That's not a bad finish to the set, though, for the Northcote Tigers. They tell the Point Chevalier Pirates, well, you got to go 95 metres if you're going to do it. And again, we'll look to trap them in goal with that line speed, which has been a feature of this game. And look, straight away, they're up on him. Barner gets locked in, is called as such by the referee. Here's Arden McCarthy, former Toa Samoa representative. Travelled to the World Cup with them back in 2013. Now the coach of the Samoa Okalani side, which beat Auckland last month. Latu jumps out, hands off, and then they try and get an offload away initially via Pasini, who holds on to it. Latu jumps out now, goes to his left. It's last play. Do they know it, the Pirates?
Now, how's that for a defensive set? A lot of one-off from the ruck there from the Pirates. They get the ball turned over at the halfway mark.
It's the second time Point Chevalier have failed to get to their kick in this game, and you just wonder what's going on there. It's gone down the edge of Pawharangi both times, whether they can't hear. There is quite a bit of wind out there, which will be making it a little difficult to hear, but yeah, you just wonder if there's a breakdown going on there right now, something they certainly need to address as they hand the Tigers dream field positioning and 5 tackles to play with. Here's Cole Waka, put to ground, 30 out from the line. Barner is the dummy half. They're set heavy to the left here, the Tigers, and will go that way. To Moti Cook, to Tapau. Tapau straightens up, looking for a little half gap. Maybe he'll create his own. Tiaho goes himself this time, had his trusty ally Tuigamala on his shoulder, didn't use him on that occasion. Barner jumps out, engages, finds Locke, who then finds Tuigamala, sprays it out the back. It's play on, Waterson on the ball. Still fourth play, they've got one up their sleeve here, the Tigers. Tamoti Cook stationed to the left. Instead they'll go right. Tuigamala kicks back across the body. It's got plenty on it, and maybe that's why forwards don't kick. That one goes well dead, and now Northcote need to get their line reset here. They're struggling a little bit, and the Point Chevalier Pirates are keen to get going. A couple of players who look like they're struggling in the line. Tapau's and all sorts here. Robert Tapau, who now looks to be getting back into it.
Big strong carry there. He's certainly showing some intent, McCarthy.
Kevin Locke now racking up a couple of tackles consecutively. Ledger will kick. Goes in behind. Stone Dunn on hand, and it goes out. Well, that's a really good set from the Point Chevalier Pirates, and one of those sets where you just start to chip away at the opposition's momentum, and nicely finished by Francis Ledger, who we've seen pop up in the middle of the field a few times. He was named in the centres, but you wonder if he's jumped in there to play halves. I haven't seen an injury, so we'll try and get a read on that, if there perhaps has been a reshuffle in this Point Chevalier side. 35 gone. It doesn't feel like it really, does it? It's just flowed nicely this game. Not a lot of stoppages. It's actually been very few errors. And it's no wonder that some of the Northcote players were blowing hard on that defensive set. Kawaka gets us back underway and then throws one out the back. Now they're going to move it. Tuigamala puts his head through a little gap and then gets taken down 30 out from the line. They're playing enterprising football here, the Tigers. Stone Dunn says, I'll take a settler. Runs
He's
into
got through
Seal.
a ton of work too, hasn't he? Sorry, Corey. Stone Dunn's getting through some volume.
Bana. Tuitupa gets rushed. Shakes out of the initial one from Sipley and chews off a couple of extra. They're 5 short of halfway now. 36 and a half gone. It's the Tigers who lead by 14 points. Timothy Cook to Tapau. Fourth. One to play with here. Tafutu. Straightens. Straight into Tavita Latu. Last play now. Expect this one to go high. They found some success there previously. Timothy Cook. A tester for Annandale. He dropped the last one. Not this time. Takes it cleanly and then brings it back. Outside backs coming in for some work now. It's just Sam Fapito. And a penalty. Flop the call. Waterson, the man, ruled to have infringed.
Putting a little breather break. 3 minutes-ish until the halftime break. And make no mistake, the Tigers certainly know how to play rugby league, don't they? They're a good footy team. They know how to shift it around the park.
Sort of reminds me a little bit of how Tahu played under John Ackland, actually. A lot of those sort of shifts, I guess, and then bringing big men back in on the inside, just trying to find those mismatches or little half gaps. It's certainly entertaining to commentate. Trust you're enjoying the coverage as well, brought to you by our men from CTAS. Big thank you to them. And, of course, the Auckland Rugby League Board of Directors for continuing to support the live stream initiative. Ledger. Links with Paeliki. 30 out from the line now, 35 I should say, the Pirates. Ledger's definitely playing on the halves. And there.
There's a couple of big bodies out here on the right-hand side. Here's one of them.
Macaulay misses him out and Tully's put that down.
Yeah, don't think he was expecting it.
So first one from Northcote. This will be a point Chevalier ball here and Tully rushing out. That's the second one he's dropped, just trying to pick the ball off and turn it over. Now, from what I can tell, Api Pawhairangi it is who's off the field. I certainly can't spot him, which would be the reason Ledger is on. So that looks like the change. McCowie's gone to halfback, Ledger into 5'8". So a big loss for the Pirates. Ledger plays an Annandale who gets dumped by Tiaho. 20 out from the line, searching for their first points right on half-time. Could well be a crucial blow at this stage of the game. Ledger now into a little half gap. 10 out from the line here, the Pirates. Latu comes centre field. Crisio gets the offload as well. Latu goes wide. Paeliki looking to straighten. Northcote get there in numbers. Not long to go now in the first half. This should be the last set. They go short, but it's called back forward. On the spot was Elliott. Got the call from his touchy. Ford passed the ruling and did look that way on the live action as well. That's probably going to just about get us to half-time here.
And really, for mine, this is probably one of very few occasions that the Pirates have been down in Tiger Town, and it gets blown up.
So half-time we go. NRL, Northcote Tigers 14, Ortex Point Chevalier Pirates 0. Short break for us before we resume with the second half action here from Walker Park.
Don't go too far away, ladies and gentlemen, as we catch up with the ARL TV news from the week, and also get to see some of the highlights action from the Otahu Leopards up against Mount Albert Lions last weekend.
everyone, welcome to this week's edition of RLTV News. Let's take a look at what's happening around the grounds. We've got our Region of Origin and Gala Day wraps, got the holiday blasts and our live stream action. Region of Origin trail wrap. 500 boys and girls tried for Region of Origin this year. Over 4 weekends, we saw 4 age groups, including the under 14, under 16 and under 18 girls grades. Check it out at aucklandleague.co.nz. The Gala Day wrap. We had our 7th and final Gala Day of the year on Sunday. Congratulations to all winners of the Best and Fairest Awards. Check it out again at aucklandleague.co.nz. Holiday Blast. Not sure what to do with the kids these school holidays? Register them for our July Holiday Blasts. We've got 2-day events at Otahu and Te Atatū next week, followed by Cornwall Park Blast that will run right through the second week of holidays. Register now at aucklandleague.co.nz. Live stream action. Catch us at Walker Park this Saturday as we live stream Point Chevalier Hilteiko Northcote. Kick off at 2:30 p.m. Catch us live at aucklandleague.co.nz. Now we're going to throw away to some highlights.
Fire up now, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to the crowd going off. I mean, what a day of rugby league. Interesting to see here the Leopards have shuffled the deck. Toronto is going to the base of the scrum, so look for something sharp here.
Can they show some patience on this set? Doyle jumps out. Doyle! Geronimo Doyle! They might not need patience. Doyle opens the scoring. Straight off the scrum, Geronimo Doyle gets to a little half gap. Real pressure on here. Nico Ely jumps out looking for a gap. He's going to get over the line, but can he turn? Short is the call. Last play coming up now for Otahu. Doyle kicks. Ball is put down. Patillo might have a try here. Otahu have got their second.
Yeah, she's a full car park here today at Fells Park.
You're not wrong. Short side they go. Quick hands and now breaking down the left-hand side. Christian Petty's got a try claim here. Points to the spot. The Lions are on the board. 0 the call. Fraser to Ackland. Ackland now dances his way through. Aiden Ackland, they'll go over. Aiden Ackland over for Mount Albert second. It was messy, but don't take away from the brilliance of Aiden Ackland. Gets the ball and just keeps running until he finds the gap.
I have to say we need patience here and the ball spills. Here come the Lions, ladies and gentlemen.
Left side they go. Rory Lopati! Oh, the diving finish. I don't think he got there.
Wait for the call. Wait for the
Pointed to
call.
the spot. The Lions have scored. They have taken the lead. Down a man with hardly any ball for the second half, and it is Rory Ropati hiding out on the wing. Let's take a look. Oh, brilliant. I called it wrong on the live vision. Rory Ropati, that is spectacular. Tello is the dummy half. Leafy. Patillo, quick play the ball. Look out, Patillo! He's over! We're gonna need to check it.
Wait for it.
We're gonna need to check it. Let's listen in.
There's the action replay.
Try.
It's awarded.
It's a try. Otahu are gonna win. What an incredible game. It all starts with this. Such a brilliant carry from Tana Leafy, and then look at this. They're just tired, Mount Albert. Patillo, he's been just about their best on ground. He jumps out, there's no one home. And then at the end, Brave fights his way over. Looked like a try straight away. Mount Albert were claiming otherwise. Game that had it all, and you win it there on the last play of the game. Yeah, how do you describe it?
Oh, I'd call it a fairy tale, really, mate. I mean, it's no final. We've got a long way to go, but you come out with an 80-minute effort like that after a rough 2 weeks that we've had is incredible. Big ups to my boys. We had a few players coming back. I think it all comes down to congratulate Richie Lani on his 50th Fox Memorial game too. And magic.
How much was it weighing on your mind? Obviously, the heartbreak of the last 2 weeks, you lost in the dying stages. Was that weighing on your mind in those closing minutes?
100%. I think straight from half time, we took a similar road to what we've taken the last 2 weeks, like you said, up at half, and we didn't come away with those 2 results. So it's been the talk, first week of the top 8 too coming in, we really needed a win to bounce back and sort of stay in touch with that top 4 is what we're aiming for. So those 2 losses, they're in our minds, and I'm proud the boys could use that to come away with 2 points today.
Well, Lani, thank you first of all for joining us, mate. This can't be an easy time to take it, but mate, you must have thought you had it won with 2 to go.
Mate, I know it's a tough game out there. You can't blame the ref. It is what it is on the field. We just lost in the last 2 minutes. There's a few tough call out there, but the decision by the ref, but we can't change it, mate. Yeah, our boys are lucky for the loss. Well done, Oru. They have a good game out there. They fight for their 2 points, but anyway, I like to look forward for the next game.
Welcome back. Now we're going to take a look at the Premiership ladders to the Crown with Trucks Fox Championship. Te Aratu are at the top of the table, followed by Bay Roskill, and at the other end, Hibiscus Coast and Mangarewa. To the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership ladder, Howick, the current Rooster Trophy holders, still remain at the top, followed by Northcote, and at the other end, Mangere East and Marist. That's all this week. I'm Savannah Chevalier. We'll see you around.
Solly Makawi for Chevalier Pirates. Catch all the action. Auckland League.co.nz. Piri Fingota, Northcote Tigers. Catch us live on aucklandleague.co.nz.